Hello. I'm out here working on something that you guys might be interested in, and I'll show you what I'm doing here. These are the headers for my 460, and there's nothing better than to buy a brand new pair of headers and have it be where you get them out of the box and they're all scarred up. But it's on the inside. The paint usually burns off these cheap ones anyway after a while, so that's not a big deal. But what is a big deal is this. I hope this shows up. And a lot of guys will say, well, I put them on my vehicle like that and it doesn't hurt anything. And if you want to think like that, that's okay, because that's true. Whenever you put headers on, you're going to always make an improvement, in most cases, over manifolds. So that's just how it usually works out. But you really can't see down in here too well. But what we have here is a lot of flashing in the tube, which isn't a real big deal. But what is a big deal to me is all this overhang. Now this would be your port, and this is all weld. And of course, on video, this isn't going to look the same. But what you have here comes in, the exhaust is coming out all super fast, and boom, hits this, hits all this, jumps around. Low spot here. I tested this. This is actually dead. If you look at this right here, the air doesn't like to, it don't even know where to go. It's just spinning around here. Reversion here. But that's okay. If you're just doing a little street strip truck or car, will you notice it? I don't know. But I do when I see it. And I look at it this way. A header is a continuance of your head. So if you have a nice pair of cylinder heads on your car or truck, and then you get a header, air's coming out of your head all nice and smooth, you went through the trouble having them ported or have aftermarket heads, and then you have this garbage. Well, that's up to you if you want to leave it like that. I will tell you the story. My friend has a Mustang, and he bought headers, and he couldn't wait to get them on, as most people. Oh, I got my headers, we're putting them on, we're going to put them on right here. We're over at my cousin's house. I looked at the headers, and they were a lot like this. All kinds of garbage right into the port as soon as the air comes out and hits the header tube. It's a mess. So I said, are you going to clean that up? No, I'm putting them on just like they are. That's not going to hurt anything. That stuff don't hurt anything. He gets the car all together. Now keep in mind, this is almost everything he does this way. With cylinder heads, not checking the valve job, just out of the box, boom, puts them on the vehicle. And that's what a lot of guys do. We've done it ourselves. So I'm not badgering anybody for that. But I will say this. Then he turns around, runs the car down the track. After he gets everything up and running and feels all good about it, and takes the car to the track and runs 13s. With trick flow heads, gear, the whole 9 yards. And then he says, I don't understand how you guys run what you run, and yeah, I've got better stuff and my car's slow. I don't understand it. Well, I don't understand it either. So my friend, you might just have to figure that out when we've told you time and time again that the things you do like that is what your problem is. They always said you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So do with that as you may. But anyway, fellas, this is my stuff, and I will go the extra mile. This is for the truck, and there's times I would have just sat these on there just the way they are, and that had been fine. But this time I'm trying to get as much out of this combination as I can. So I'm cutting this all back here and blending it in, and actually I changed the shape a little bit. But here's the problem I have is there's not a lot of metal. This is very thin. So what I'll probably wind up doing is getting my son to weld around the flange on the outside if I go through, which I think I'm pretty close to going through now, because these are very thin from the factory. So yeah, guys, I'm definitely going to be repainting these. Now I will say this, guys, if you want to do something like this, have a friend help you out, or have a way to keep your header from moving, clamp it somehow, and you might want to put some cardboard down to stop that from happening. Okay, I can't believe Terry's letting them get messed up like that. That's the least of my problems. That paint right there. They were already scarred. They're going to get scarred up when we do a few things here in the future, so that would really bother me back in the day. I guess when you get in your 60s, paint don't matter as much. I don't know why, but maybe it's because I've gone so long without it, I don't think I need it anymore. Now, on a serious note, I'm going to repaint these with a high temp header paint. So, anyway, fellas, yeah, I may change the color on these guys. I'm not sure yet. So anyway, this is what you can do for extra performance. And like I said, guys, I always think of a header being the continuance of the head. And that's why they make step headers and thicker flanges, and some of the headers, they make a kit where you can raise the port a little bit and modify it. So all them things that they make these kits and stuff for, to do certain tricks with the header, well, most of them things do work. Do you see it in the seat of the pants? Sometimes you don't even notice it, okay? You might not even notice a good pair of headers from a small, crappy pair. I'll put it to you that way. So it all depends on your compression, your combination, how hard you're turning the engine, all kinds of things. But one thing I will say, I do not want this mess right here. So it's not about being pretty, it's about airflow. Now I will say this, guys, this is a lot smoother than it looks on film here. I did round this back in here, around the flange, and I did a lot of grinding. Allow yourself at least an hour on this. Now, if somebody wants to just do a cleanup and don't want to worry about making everything real consistent, you can just always just grind the weld back or whatever. And what you got to do, guys, is use a drill, and this is one of these balls that come in a kit from Harbor Freight. They have a different variety of them, and you can use whatever one you want. They all work. You can use a carbide bit or something like this here. And the only reason I buy these, fellas, it's not because they work the best. It's because they're like $4 a pack. And believe me, they're not the best grinding stones, but I always manage to get the job done with them. So, and they're convenient. The place is right up the street. From here, I have a Harbor Freight 10 minutes from where I'm at right now, and there's one on the way when I come to my son's from my apartment. So it's convenient. If you want to buy something better that would really smack the metal loose on you, a really good carbide bit that takes the metal real fast, that's up to you. But if you're not experienced, then I wouldn't take any more metal fast on the fast end, because you got to kind of watch where you're going here, because the welds like this here are thicker in spots and they're thinner in other spots. So you want to just kind of taper this stuff in as you go, in my opinion. If you have a welder and you have somebody can weld them back like I'm doing, it's not a big deal. If you say, oh, I'll do that, and I'll just weld them back. But if you're a guy that don't have a welder and you don't want to wind up making a mistake, then you use something like this here and you just smooth out the bad areas. So I'm doing this with one hand. I just stuck that ball in there to show you guys what to use here. And that's what happens in real time. And that's what happens when you're doing this, fellas. If you're using a drill and these things, they will pop out on you. You have to rechuck them once in a while. So that was actually good that happened right there to show you guys what really goes on when you're doing this kind of work. Anybody doesn't do it and has never done it, that will give you an idea what happens. Oh, fellas, if the welds wasn't so hard, you could use this to smooth it out. But you would go through these sanding paper rolls too quick. That's why I didn't mention that. However, if you want to smooth it out with this after you get it all finished, this here would work just fine and dandy to smooth it back out. So there are just a few tips and a few different ways you can do it, and whatever works for you is good. If you have a better idea how to do something like that, then you don't have to listen to me. I just try to give you a little do's and don'ts and what I've seen work for myself. So it's never one way or the other when I tell you something. I know a lot of guys on YouTube try to make you think their way is the only way, and that's not how it is with me, guys. Somebody said, hey, I do it this way, and I did it in 20 minutes. Hey, that's good, you know, because this layers up an hour doing what I'm doing right here, at least an hour per port, tube, whatever. Expect to be like this, fellas. When you do this kind of work, this is all I've done. A little bit of head work here, and then I jumped on these headers. So you might want to wear some gloves and have some hand cleaner handy when you're finished. So with that, everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to close up here, and I've been here for a while, guys. When you do this kind of work here, you don't really make big time. At least I don't. I hope you guys do better than what I do, because this stuff takes me a while. So with that, I want to thank you for tuning in, and if I keep hammering this stuff, maybe we'll see this motor up and running. Every time I'm getting a little bit closer, it seems like I take a step back. But keep your fingers crossed. Maybe we'll see that 460 fire up in the truck. And what I'm anxious for, guys, on a serious note, is to see that go down the track. I have a number picked out in my head here that I want that truck to run time-wise, and we're going to see how close I get. We'll talk more about that later. So with that, thanks again, and God bless you.